Is it necessarily true that a permissive society is a demonic society? Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day 4 of Acharei Mot, after the death, Kedoshim, set-apart ones. Let's go to Leviticus or Vayikra chapter 18. Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, in verse 1, "Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, I am Yahweh your Elohim. Do not do as they do in the land of Mitzrayim, where you dwelt, and do not do as they do in the land of Canaan, where I am bringing you. Do not walk in their laws. Do my right rulings and guard my laws to walk in them. I am Yahweh your Elohim. You shall guard my laws and my right rulings, which a man does and lives by them. I am Yahweh." Then verse 6 says, "No one is to approach anyone of his own flesh to uncover his nakedness. I am Yahweh." And I'm going to stop right there. And in this particular setting, spare the reading of all the various variations of that last read verse in verse 6. Then we go down to verse number 21. "Do not give any of your offspring to pass through to Molech. Do not profane the name of your Elohim. I am Yahweh. Do not lie with a male as with a woman. It's an abomination. Do not have intercourse with any beast to defile yourself with it, and a woman does not stand before a beast to mate with it. It is a perversion." Then verse 24 says, "Do not defile yourselves with all these, for by all these the nations are defiled, for which I am driving out before you. Thus the land became defiled." It's amazing to me that as man continues in his quest for knowledge, which originally initiated in the garden by the deceptive lies of the serpent, professing that there was a secret knowledge, a higher level of knowledge, a higher level of spiritual attainment by that knowledge, basically suggesting to Chava, to Eve, Yah is holding out on you. And there's some things he just doesn't want you to understand, because he knows that when you understand them, you will be like him and therefore a competitor to him. But I mean, you can draw closer to him. You just need to understand what he understands. And I already understand these things, so let me show them to you. Now, obviously, if she was looking at what we would think of as a snake at that point, I don't know that there would have been any attraction, but rather the serpent was more subtle, more deceptive, and she was gullible, unfortunately. And so, however the serpentine creature appeared to her, it was as one enlightened, as one that was radiant enough to be supposed to have what it was offering. She fell prey to this quest for the knowledge of good and evil from this tree. Mankind still pursuing knowledge, higher learning, greater facts and figures, supposes that it also immediately equates then into wisdom and understanding. Let's be clear, knowledge does not make you wise. And there are people who don't know certain scientific facts and figures, or certain things that we would even say that they are naive, a simpleton perhaps, unlearned. But they walk in great wisdom because they've paid attention in life, and they've learned things, and they've learned to know people. And they live in a way that you look at them and say, how did you come to understand that? Where did you get this? And they'll just smile, and it's what my dad called good common horse sense. And so wisdom has eluded society. Wisdom is the fear of Yah. Wisdom is acknowledging your Creator and seeking to serve Him. Knowledge alone will puff you up and make you arrogant and proud and therefore rejected by the Most High. In the previous chapter, we talked about the singleness of a single altar and single priesthood, single doctrines, and those things. But it says that they not offer their offerings, their slaughterings in the open field. Why an open field? Because without borders, one is free to expand their understandings of spiritual things and their pursuit of spiritual things. And some people have been trained, and some people train people to think this way, unfortunately, that the Torah is too constricting, it's too narrow, it prohibits the revelation of the Messiah, not understanding that the Torah is the revelation of the Messiah. Well, we have a new covenant, and that old covenant that is archaic and out of touch with modern minds and modern applications, it just simply doesn't work anymore, and that's why it needed to be replaced. But Hebrews chapter 8 says that the fault was not with the covenant, but with the people. The problem is, Yah's word never changes. But man doesn't change very much either. And man is still as rebellious as they've always been. And what I'm reading here in chapter 18, Yah is saying, do not engage in the free-minded, free pursuit of love and things exciting and fleshly and physically gratifying. Don't run after those things, especially in the camp of sensuality. And especially where restrictions and reasonable limitations of relationships should be involved. And so in the wisdom of modern man, we have now come to a place, even though it is firmly frowned upon and judiciously pursued in legal courts and so forth, about violence against the young. And yet the world's elite, it would seem, at least behind closed doors, as is often reported, condone but also practice such things. And for whatever wise, or let's back that up, whatever knowledgeable reasons that they have, whatever higher minds that they claim to possess, Yah says, as he goes through this list of improprieties of relationships, don't do this. Don't uncover. Don't expose. Don't become attracted to. It's not permitted. No, you can't explain it away. No, it's not reasonable. No, you'll never come to a place of such higher knowledge and learning that it can be engaged in and be an act of enlightenment. Because as he gets down to the end of this list, it's immediately juxtaposed against worship of Molech, which is child sacrifice. Yah is connecting the pursuit of sensuality to the destruction of the young, and then immediately to the perversions of same-sex relationships, homosexuality, and then to even bestiality. And man, it should warp our thinking. It should horrify us to the nth degree. But as Romans 1 teaches, those who think themselves wise have explained Yah away and gone in this pursuit. And so he's allowed their minds to be destroyed. It's amazing that mind-seeking knowledge end up being destroyed because they want to think like the nations. Yah help us. And I'll hope to see you again tomorrow. Till then, shalom.